I'd like to highlight really the impact in particular of poor quality housing on fuel poverty. This is something that I'm particularly acutely aware of in my constituency of Shipley. We do have some really poor quality housing. It's very typical for a northern town, northern city, that we do have a higher proportion of non-decent homes, which means that they just don't meet the standards for a warm and dry home. And that obviously has knock-on effects for people's health and for their well-being. The other thing we know, and from my own work, is that older people are also more likely to live in these non-decent homes, and that can also have quite significant impacts. So there's data that's been shared with me from Friends of the Earth that shows there are 17 energy crisis hotspots in Shipley alone. These are neighbourhoods that are identified that have below average household income but above average energy bills. So we need to use these sorts of data to really focus our efforts around tackling fuel poverty, and also, the excellent work that the government's doing to invest in home insulation to really make sure we target it at these energy hotspots. Clearly, there are links between fuel poverty and pensioner poverty. The two do go hand in hand. And really, I think it's a scandal that, under the watch of the past Conservative government, that the number of pension credit claimants actually halved between 2010 and 2024, from 2.6 million to just 1.35 million. And sadly, over that same period, we saw pensioner poverty rise from 12%, that's 1.2 million people, to 16%, 2.1 million people. A real scandal. So I obviously agree that we should be targeting the winter fuel support on the poorest pensioners, but we also need to be doing all we can to make sure that those who are eligible for pension credit and thereby winter fuel allowance are brought on to pensioner credit. So I think the DWP estimated that almost 900,000 eligible households were not claiming this benefit. And again, it's fantastic that other colleagues in government are working to raise awareness of pension credit amongst some of our poorest pensioners and making sure that support is available. I want to pay particular tribute, Chair, if I may, to some of the local organisations in my constituency who are supporting those pensioners who experience fuel poverty, like Age UK Bradford, Citizens Advice Bradford, as well as some of the housing associations and Bradford Council, who are providing both advice and direct support to address fuel poverty, and making sure that people have the right advice and the right benefits.